Hello, everyone. This is Southern Bell Whisper. I hope you all are doing well today. So, I know I told you guys in my last video that I plan to make more positive, upbeat videos, but I will do anything on behalf of my mother. I would really appreciate it if you guys would send good healing thoughts and prayers her way. She just got recently admitted to the hospital. We think she may have had another stroke. She's been weak for days. I know, you guys, when it rains, it pours, right? But this channel has always been very therapeutic for me at times. You would think with everything going on, I wouldn't even feel like making a video. But that's the times when I want to make videos the most, because I consider you all my friends, and I care about you all, and you guys know I'll share anything. I'm like an open book. But when it comes to my mother, I'll do anything for her. So please, you guys, be praying for her. But in this video, I have another DVD show and tell for you guys. I love DVD trigger videos, but I didn't get a chance to paint my nails. They don't look their best. I just want to warn you guys. But to start, this is Moulin Rouge. It has been years since I watched this movie. Welcome to a celebration of truth, beauty, freedom, and above all things, love. This is a lot like the edition of Walk the Line that I have. I love this edition. When I saw this at the pawn store, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. The greatest thing you'll ever learn is to love and be loved in return. And then you open it up, and it's a 2-disc. Very beautiful edition. Stars Ewan McGregor and Nicole Kidman. Pretty sure it was released in 2001 because I remember me and my brothers were obsessed with the song from this movie, Lady Marmalade. We would go around singing it. We didn't really know what it was about. We just knew it had a good beat to it. But yes, it's been a long time since I've seen this movie. I know me and my ex from way back in the day, our song was Come What May from this movie. And I still love that song. Great musical. I know that. I love musicals. I don't like that as a sad ending. I don't like endings where the couple don't end up together. But it's still a beautiful movie, and this is still a beautiful edition for 50 cents. You can't beat it. This one hasn't even been opened, you guys. And that is Twister. One of my favorite movies. I remember the first time I ever saw this movie. What year was it released? 1996. I remember the first time I ever watched this movie, and I had a fear of tornadoes. Actually, I still have a fear of tornadoes because of this movie. From the producers of Jurassic Park and the director of Speed, Twister, The Dark Side of Nature. Let's see. The house rips apart piece by piece. There's There's a tag right here. A cow spins through the air. Tractors fall like rain. A 15,000-pound gasoline tanker becomes an airborne bomb. A mile-wide, 300 miles per hour force of total devastation is coming at you. Twister is hitting home. And this adventure swirling with cliff-hanging excitement and awesome special effects, Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton play scientists pursuing the most destructive weather front to sweep through mid-America's tornado alley in 50 years. By launching electronic sensors into the funnel, the storm chasers hope to obtain enough data to create an improved warning system. But to do so, they must intercept the Twister's deadly path. The chase is on. Me and my parents went to go see Twisters, and it was pretty good, but nothing compares to the original. Nothing compares to the original. And I've also put these movies in like categories. So Moulin Rouge was like romance musical, and now we're in like thriller, action movies. And this hasn't even been open yet, you guys. I was so happy when I found this. It's one of my favorites. Bill Paxton. He was so popular in the 90s. Twister. Another one that I haven't seen in years. I think we went to go see this in theaters. And that is Prisoners. This movie stars Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal. It was released in 2013. How far would you go to protect your family? Keller Dover is facing a parent's worst nightmare. His young daughter and her friend are missing, and panic has set in for both families as hours turn to days. Heading the investigation, Detective Loki arrests the only suspect, the driver of a RV which the girls had been playing in. But a lack of evidence forces his release. As pressure mounts, Loki's team pursues multiple leads while a frantic Dover, knowing his child's life is at stake, decides he has no choice but to take matters into his own hands. I love Jake Gyllenhaal. I think he's still one of my celebrity crushes. I remember I had a poster of him back in the day. I love him. Ever since I saw him in October Sky, I've loved him. It's a really good movie. I know that. Great cast. So, Prisoners. I was really excited about finding this one. I think I mentioned this movie in one of my videos about how much, yes, it destroyed me, but it's one of the most amazing, thought-gripping movies I've ever seen. And I was so excited about finding it. And that is American History X with the genius Edward Norton. This was released in the 90s, I know that. Derek Vineyard, the charismatic leader of a group of young white supremacists, lands in prison for a brutal, hate-driven murder. Upon his release, ashamed of his past and pledging to reform, Derek realizes he must save his younger brother Danny from a similar fate. A groundbreaking, controversial drama about the tragic consequences of racism in a family. American History X also stars Beverly D'Angelo. This movie, you guys. Like, I had seen the ending already on YouTube because it was listed as one of the most heartbreaking endings to a movie ever. I still bawl like a baby. It's so thought provoking and lesson learning this movie is. I may watch it today. To be honest, I love this movie. Some legacies must end. Alright, we're getting into war movies now. I love this movie so much. This is another movie that me and both my parents went to go see. My dad doesn't usually go to the movies that much, but he went with us to see this. I love this movie so much. It's probably my favorite war film. That is Hacksaw Ridge with Andrew Garfield. This was released in 2016. Hacksaw Ridge is the extraordinary true story of Desmond Doss, who, during the bloodiest battle of World War II, saved 75 men without firing or carrying a gun. He was the only American soldier in World War II to fight on the front lines without a weapon, as he believed that while the war was justified, killing was nevertheless wrong. As an army medic, he single-handedly evacuated the wounded from behind enemy lines. Brave fire while tending to soldiers, was wounded by a grenade and hit by snipers. Doss was the first objector to ever earn the Congressional Medal of Honor. Hacksaw Ridge. Such a great movie. Andrew Garfield, he is really an amazing actor. I really like him. The last war movie, in which I haven't seen. Usually I do not buy movies that I haven't seen, but I've been wanting to see this one, and that is 1917. This movie was released in 2020. At the height of the First World War, two young British soldiers are given a seemingly impossible mission. In a race against time, they must cross enemy territory and deliver a message that will stop a deadly attack on hundreds of soldiers. Blake's own brother among them. Not seen this one yet, so I am really excited about it. This is probably one of the only Brad Pitt movies that I actually like. I'm not a big fan of him because of what he did to Jennifer Aniston, and I know he regrets it, and he should, but I do love this movie. It's a sports movie, and that is Moneyball. This movie was released in 2011. It stars Brad Pitt, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Jonah Hill, and Chris Pratt. Oakland A's general manager Billy Beane challenges the system and defies conventional wisdom when he is forced to rebuild his small market team on a limited budget. Despite opposition from the old guard, the media, fans, and their own field manager, Beane, with the help of a young, number-crunching, Yale-educated economist, develops a rooster of misfits, and along the way, forever changes the way the game is played. I also went to the theater to see this movie. Mama didn't also, the temperature went from 90 some degrees outside to 60. I know. We call it fake fall. But every time that happens, I get like a little cold. So if my voice breaks or I keep swallowing, it's because I'm not feeling my best. Yeah, this is a really good movie. I can't recommend it enough. Superhero movie or thriller, action. That is Joker. I remember when they announced that Joaquin Phoenix was the new Joker, and I live by Heath Ledger's Joker. I've told you guys before I don't really like superhero movies. I love The Dark Knight and I love Joker. I have not seen the second one because people said it sucked. And I just don't know. I don't want to tarnish the first one. Failed comedian Arthur Fleck encounters violent thugs while wandering the streets of Gotham City dressed as a clown. Disregarded by society, Fleck begins a slow descent into madness as he transforms into the criminal mastermind known as Joker in director Todd Phillips' thrilling origin story. This was released in 2019 and it won Joaquin Phoenix his first Oscar. Very much deserved. He was amazing in this movie. I love Joaquin Phoenix. He's probably one of my favorite actors of all time. Great movie. This one I haven't seen, but I know it's like a staple in the 80s. And that is RoboCop. See, I grew up on Terminator, but I don't think I've ever seen RoboCop. This was released in 1987. There's a new law enforcer in town, and he's half man, half machine. From the director of Total Recall and Basic Instinct is a sci-fi fantasy with sleek, high-powered drive about indestructible high-tech policemen who dishes out justice at every turn. When a good cop gets blown away by some ruthless criminals, innovative scientists and doctors are able to piece him back together as an unstoppable, crime-fighting cyborg called RoboCop. Impervious to bullets and bombs and equipped with high-tech weaponry, RoboCop quickly makes a name for himself by cleaning up the crime-ridden streets of violence-ravaged Detroit. But despite his new hardened exterior, RoboCop is tormented by scraps of memory of his former life and relives vivid nightmares of his own death at the hands of the vicious killers. Now he's out to seek more than just justice. He wants revenge. But yes, I can't say I've ever seen this one. I don't remember. Like I told you guys, I grew up on Terminator. And in this video, we have two horror films and one like Halloweenish. It can be watched during Halloween or Christmas. I don't like horror films, but some are classics. So, Poltergeist. They're here, playful at first, but not for long. A storm erupts, a tree attacks, and little Carol Ann Freeling is whisked into a spectral void. As her family confronts horror's galore, something else is here too. A new benchmark in Hollywood ghost stories. Producers Steven Spielberg and Frank Marshall and director Toby Hooper head the lead screen team of this classic. Welcome to Home Sweet Haunted Home. What's her face? Heather. Oh man, the little girl's name, the one that passed away really young. They said that this movie was cursed because both Heather and the actress that played her sister in this movie both died. The actress that played her sister got murdered, and Heather had a ruptured intestine. Very sad. But yeah, they say that this movie is haunted because of that very reason. Poltergeist. Of course, my favorite character is the woman, the one that comes to rid the house of all demons and bad spirits. She's my favorite. This one hasn't been opened either. Stephen King's Children of the Corn. From the author of Carrie, The Shining, The Dead Zone, and Christine. A young couple found themselves stranded in the royal town of Gatlin, Nebraska, where they encounter a mysterious religious sect of children. But nowhere in town are there any adults. The horror grows to a blood-curdling climax as the two new visitors learn the terrifying secret behind the prospering cornfields. Based on a classic short story by Stephen King, Children of the Corn is a longtime horror favorite that has spawned 6 sequels and many imitations. See how it all started. It's released in 1996. I thought it was older than that. Children of the Corn. And the last movie, Edward Scissorhands. This gave me my first, one of my first ASMR experiences. What's her name? The sales lady. It's like Box or something other. This was released in 1990. Once upon a time, in a castle high on a hill lived an inventor whose greatest creation was named Edward. Although Edward had an irresistible charm, he wasn't quite perfect. The inventor's sudden death left him unfinished, with sharp shears and metal for hands. Edward lived alone in the darkness until one day a kind Avon lady took him home to live with her family. So began Edward's fantastical adventures in the pastel paradise known as Suburbia. This is when Johnny Depp and Winona Ryder got together. They were such a lovely couple. I know whatever he did to her, I know he regrets it every day. They're soulmates. This movie is so beautiful. The soundtrack is gorgeous. I'm not a huge Tim Burton fan, but I gotta admit he has some pretty amazing movies. And this is probably my favorite one. The part where she's dancing and the music's playing. It's just Johnny Depp, Edward Scissorhands. Alright, you guys, so that was the last movie. Please, please, please be praying for my mother. I'm actually about to go to the hospital now and go and see her and make sure she doesn't need anything and get an update on her. So you guys, please, please. But I love you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video.